that she has a case. We're talking about Lise Wheel and attorney Rachel Kugel. All right, Lise, you say she has a case.
Absolutely. This is a 24-year-old girl. They came onto her exactly when she was 16. Said, we're going to take care of you. We're the accountants. We're going to take care of you. You're a 16-year-old girl. You're going to make all this money. We are going to take care of you and you have fiduciary responsibility to you. What did they do? They took 23%, Neil, of her profits. How much did she get? 6%. I mean, I'm not good at math. There's something really wrong with that. They breached that duty to her.
Well, she signed that, right?
Right, and you know, these agreements, when you look at these retainer agreements, are often very specific about what the percentages are going to be. She may have made a bad deal, but she made a deal. You cannot just give to everybody else the responsibilities of your money and walk away and not watch it.
But she's a kid, and when she started, she was a kid doing it.
16 years old.
Actually, the years that are involved in this lawsuit are after she's 18, and she's pretty lawsuit happy. I mean, if you look at some of what's gone on in the last year, she's sued a variety of people for the same $6.9 million.
Look, counter, if the accountants are crooks, normally there are lawyers to check the other crooks. In other words, the crooks are watching the crooks, right?
The crooks on the crooks.
So she didn't have that.
She didn't have that. She trusted in her accountants. They had a duty to her. They did not fulfill that duty. I mean, it's very simple when you look at contract law, and this is a contract. They didn't fulfill that contract.
Well, how much? She made a lot of money on the tour, right?
She did, but they overestimated exactly what she was making, and they said, oh, go buy this and buy that. Why? Because they get commissions on everything. She didn't have the money, Neil, and now she's in trouble with the IRS.
But could it be the thing like they do with stars in Hollywood? They all of a sudden said, oh, did you mean net or gross? Because actually, it's like Star Wars. We didn't make any money on the Star Wars movies. We don't know what happened.
Right.
But so it could have been a technicality that they screwed
it. They're the accountants. They're the professionals. She's a girl. She's out there trying to make money, making a lot of money, and they're supposed to take care of her. Really, she's.
Well, how did this come to light then? I mean, if she says, "Hey, wait a minute, I just made millions on this tour," and you're saying I don't have.
Well, the IRS
well,
is after.
It's in part because
the IRS is
But let me say, it's easy to go after and vilify the accountants and the professionals involved, especially after we've had so many accountants go down in flames and go to jail, some of them. But don't forget, it's actually very difficult to sustain a lawsuit against an accountant.
But I think this is a good one. I really do. You've got a victim here. She doesn't really know much about finances.
Yeah, but these are done a dozen in Hollywood, right? Or in the entertainment community.
You mean
where an entertainer feels that what happened to my money, or remember Mike Tyson, he earned $1 billion in the ring, they did nothing to show.
But you look at these percentages.
History's replete with
this. But you look at these percentages, 23 versus 6. Come on, you get that in front of a jury with a 16-year-old girl, and you're right, it didn't.
Well, but what if there are others? Like I just found out other anchors here at Fox are paid. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
So I'm wondering.
I'll give you my card.
Okay, good. It's a little late for that. But no, Ailes just gives me free food. I said that sounds good.
Exactly. I'm ready for that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, but maybe that's the ratio. Maybe that's the ratio. There are a lot of people who look like contract agents in our. The guy gets 10%.
Right.
You're getting 10% away to a guy.
It has to be outside the accepted standard of care.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is 23% or whatever it was an accepted range?
When she's losing money, which at one point she was, and they keep saying to her, go invest in this, do more of this, spend your money because they'll get a commission on that. They'll get that same 23%.
Well, spend their money on what?
When she bought a house, she bought all these things.
Well, how would they get a percentage of what she does with money that she's earning?
They got a percentage of everything. That's why the accounting was not proper accounting. They got a percentage of everything.
Well, she's alleging that there was conflict of interest, among other things, and certainly that is a part of what will be the lawsuit. But ultimately, their best defense is going to be that it's her fault, because they have to prove she has to prove not only something happened, but that they're the cause of that damage.
She may
have made some really bad decisions herself.
She hired them to take care of her and to give her good advice.
Right, but that
not only did they give her bad advice, they led her down the garden path to now the IRS is looking at her.
We all make our own decisions.
I
just hope none of this hurts her Oscar chances after Battleship.
Well, we can all only hope.
We can all only hope. Come on.
Yeah, let's work for that one.
You can do this. You can do this. Thank you, ladies. Very much.
Thank you.
Well, BFF or BS?